Piastri and Alpine have definitely kept us all entertained just as the summer break begins. Alpine announced Piastri as their driver for the 2023 season, and the 21-year-old Aussie opened up to the world, denying Alpine's statements. Why, you may ask yourself? Stick around until the end to find out the real reason. The Piastri and Alpine's controversy first started when Alpine was supposed to send Piastri to Williams. This was part of an agreement that would see the British constructors use Renault engines beginning next season. The Australian champion in F2 should have replaced Nicholas Latifi, so he would gain knowledge and then replace Fernando Alonso, who was supposed to proceed with his agreement with Alpine until 2024. Then came the shocking news of Sebastian Vettel reporting his retirement, and from that point on, everything turned into a wreck. While everyone predicted that Hülkenberg or Schumacher would be the main legitimate substitutes for Vettel, it happened all of a sudden that Alonso was to replace the four-time title holder in Aston Martin. But again, this isn't something unreasonable to expect, as Alonso has had a terrible time with Ocon and Alpine overall. The Spaniard was battled with reliability issues, and his partner Ocon hasn't helped him when he was a lot slower. This meant Alonso couldn't work on his focus and his performance much in Alpine, which is the main reason why he's so low on points this season. Alonso said that it wouldn't take him over 10 minutes to arrange an arrangement with Alpine if they somehow happened to call him for an extension of the arrangement past 2022. It seems like Aston Martin was faster to pull the trigger on the two-time title holder, as Alonso chose to accept the offer to race for the British group with poor leadership. Alpine then announced that Piastri would replace Alonso from 2023 and beyond, but the young driver went on Twitter to post that he would not drive for Alpine in the next season, saying, "I understand that. Without my agreement, Alpine F1 have put out a press release late this afternoon that I'm driving for them next year. This is wrong, and I have not signed a contract with Alpine for 2023. I will not be driving for Alpine next year," said Piastri. Now, why would a young and prospective driver like Piastri deny a place in a team that is challenging McLaren for the P4 spot in the championship this season, and a team that does have decent machinery to be the best of the rest? It's very likely that Oscar Piastri has already secured a spot on another team. That would be the most logical explanation for why he has denied Alpine, the team that mentored him for 4 years and the team that he managed to win F3 and F2 titles with. He was, and still is, the reserve driver for the team, and was kind of disappointed when he couldn't receive a place for the 2022 season. The deadline for Piastri's clause to be activated and confirm him as an Alpine driver expired on July 31st, according to rumors, but this hasn't been confirmed by Alpine. This is a very important thing because Alpine had missed the chance to sign Piastri by then, and it would be only logical for him to go and search for another team, as he and his manager, Webber, would have to prepare for this kind of option. This was around the period when Alonso announced that he'd leave the team for Aston Martin, and Alpine kind of dropped the ball here, with them being shocked by Alonso's decision. They didn't focus enough on Piastri, and that could very well be the reason why he has decided to look for another team. One more motive behind Piastri's choice to not claim the offered seat in Alpine is a result of the manner in which they treated him entering the 2022 season. Alonso was in his 40s, and even though he is an extremely capable and great driver at that age, Piastri felt like he ought to have been allowed that spot. All things considered, he just emerged from a title season in F2, and he won the F3 classification, so you shouldn't blame him for having such exclusive standards. In any case, him passing up the 2022 seat could very well be the trigger point regarding the reason why he needs to race for another group. Piastri might have consented to an arrangement with another group prior to this season, like McLaren or Williams, and they could very much consent to keep things calm for some time. Piastri needed to intervene because Alpine had declared him the driver next to Ocon, and he needed to get the rumors shut down as soon as possible. If you think about it, these weren't rumors, but an official statement from Alpine, making this whole thing even more controversial. Two teams that are eager to get Piastri are Williams and McLaren. Well, most teams were eager to get him prior to the 2022 season, but as an Alpine reserve driver, it was only natural for him to commit to this team. However, it's very possible that Piastri believed that Alonso would continue his agreement with Alpine until 2024, and that was too much for him to wait to enter the F1 car. After all, who could blame him? That's what we thought too, and more bizarrely, that's what Alpine thought too. According to them, they found out about Alonso's agreement with Aston Martin from the media itself, not from the Spaniard. Of the two teams that are rumored to be the best landing spots for Piastri, Williams and McLaren, one has the potential to cause a massive shake-up for the 2023 drivers lineup. If McLaren decides to pull the plug on Piastri and sack Ricciardo, although the older Aussie has a contract until the end of the next season, that could very well be a reunion between Ricciardo and Renault. After all, why not? He brought podiums to the team when they were struggling a lot, and it seems like his tenure at McLaren, although he's very optimistic about it, is far from perfect. According to Paul Di Resta, this could be the only reason why Piastri will reject his guaranteed seat in Alpine, who also spoke about Alonso's departure, saying, "It's very odd. I think the whole paddock was caught by surprise yesterday, going into the summer break when the silly season starts with driver contracts. Fernando going to Aston, I hadn't heard it anywhere. I don't believe my colleagues had either, and it also caught Otmar Zafnauer by surprise. That has led on to what has happened obviously with Piastri, who has been an Alpine junior. They have been lobbying him, saying how good he is and where that seat is going to come up, and even trying to place him within the Formula 1 paddock because he's an asset to them in the future." Now, that statement that he has put out, I find it very surprising that he's rejecting a team that is on the top 4 and a great upward trajectory, that you wouldn't want to drive for them. That could only mean that he has got another seat secured somewhere else. Where is he going to be driving? Is it McLaren? Is it Williams? You have got this junior who is so highly rated on the back of what he has done in the junior categories, and to sit him on the sidelines and now have him racing and invest all this testing in various different circuits, putting him in a car was what Alpine wanted, but obviously he feels he's going to be driving somewhere else. He has obviously taken that decision thinking that Alonso was staying, and it did feel like he was part of the furniture and it was going to be the obvious thing that he continued to go on. Finished Di Resta. Piastri could very well be disappointed with the way Alpine's strategy works too. For example, we've seen how Ocon has compromised the races of Alonso when he was much slower than him on multiple occasions, such as in Jeddah and Hungary. Another reason is that Piastri could have been promised preferential treatment, or at least equal treatment with another team. If that team is Williams, then it's not hard to assume that he and Albon would be given equal chances to find on track. If the team is McLaren and Piastri was promised that he wouldn't have to get out of the way for Norris, then that is a very juicy proposal that not many can pass on. If Piastri is to go to another team, it's very likely that he's been promised a lot more potential and probably better treatment than the one in Alpine. The way Alpine has led their policies towards this driver has brought about this happening in the first place. The team lost a driver that is likely to give his talents and his knowledge to another team, and it's not often that you receive a talent like Piastri in your ranks. Alpine definitely messed up their own tactics by not paying enough attention or focusing on this matter. Check out the next video here. Take care and drive safely.